Good morning. Oh, so delightful. So long. Week 2. That's what we're going to be doing. Hi, Miss Sarah. Good morning, Cheryl. Hope everyone's ready, that you have your homework done. If you don't, you're in big trouble. I'm just kidding. If you don't, who cares? Work on whatever you want to work on. We're just here to have fun. Hi, Miss Lila. Good morning. Good morning. I started my day with an acai bowl, and it is so cold. I am like chilled from the inside out. We're going to start out with spools. So if you're scrambling to get your stuff together, scramble a little more. This is what we're going to start out with. No, don't scramble. There's 3 of these. He's actually starting to feel a little bit better, Sarah. I was like, weigh yourself. And I think before the whole thing, he was like 176, something like that. So he was 166. So he gained a couple of pounds, and I was like, you look perfect to me. He's super skinny right now. I'm just kidding. So, Sarah, I am not organized. And you would be organized too if you had scheduled a sew date with your girlfriends and you needed to be scheduled. So that's the only reason I'm scheduled. If I was doing this for me, if I was like, I'm going to get started at 10 a.m. and do Oh So Delightful, I would probably still be in bed. Well, maybe not. I'd probably be out walking the dogs or something like that. But one more minute and then we'll get started. Hi, Celinda. Michelle. Uh-oh. That's okay. You'll be able to catch up. There'll be a video. All is good in the banana hood. We're all good. So I did finish my homework yesterday. And this is what it looks like. This is this is sections 1 and 2, which makes me go, is this an itty bitty quilt? Like, how big is this thing? I thought it was going to be like large, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking this is tiny. Because, yeah, that's it. And then we'll have the inner border, and then we'll have an outer border. So that's going to make it a little wider. But overall, it's not huge. We'll probably add, what's this? I have a thing down here. This is 18.5 inches. And then we'll add 19.5, 20.5. And then these are probably, what, like 3? 20.5 plus another 6. 26.5. Yeah, it's going to be perfect hanging on my wall. I'm not going to show you the wall because I have a bunch of junk on the floor in front of it. So, it's only small. Yes, it is kind of teeny. Good morning, Cora. Hello, morning. Patrick as well. Yeah, he's stressed about that too. He wants to make sure he feels well. Oh my goodness, Cindy. I should clean under my... Okay, you want to see the real truth? The whole truth and nothing but the truth? I don't even know the last time I cleaned under this. We're going to do it right now. So if you have a Luminara Solaris, I'm going to like loosen the debris. I also have... Oh, it's not that bad. I must have done it. I also have like a little, you know what I need are, I need some of those, the Eleanor Burns, the little brushes. That's what I need. I meant to grab some from the store. Usually I loosen it all and then I'll just take my vacuum and I'll just suck it out. I thought this was going to be way worse. It's not even bad. Remember when Patrick was talking about the piles? Those are, I'm going to show them to you. This one right here, which mine is pretty gunky. It's this navy blue, like, felty thing right here. The other one is this, right here. And that's right by the cutter, so when the thread passes by here, it holds it. So if your thread is cutting too short, sometimes these piles get removed. People think they're just like a bunch of lint, but they have a very defined purpose. So don't get rid of those. Right here is what I'm talking about. This felt thing. That's your other pile. So you've got one pile on your bobbin case, and then you have the other pile right here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pop this back in. I thought I was going to have a horrendous mess in there, but I think I must have cleaned it out at some point. Another great reason to have the Luminaire and Solaris is it does have that one-step plate changer. So you just pull back and you don't have to unscrew the needle plate. And quite honestly, with the other machines, I would unscrew the needle plate as needed. I definitely didn't keep my machine as clean as I should have kept it because I'm lazy. And anyways, easier to stitch in the ditch. Junk gets crap. Weather looks pretty gorgeous out there, but it's a little bit cool. I've been cold. Freestanding lace, 26 by 38 inches. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to get started today with spool of thread, and this is what they look like. So there's 3 of them. I want you to think about what thread you want to use to do your quilting. This one's done with white, yellow. I think I'm just going to leave it and do the colors that are recommended here. I wasn't sure about the white because that cross stitch, like the cross stitch looks like nothing unless you do it in a certain color. But there's a lot going on here, so I might just leave it on the white. So I already pre-cut. Here is my hoop, my 5x7. I pre-cut. I needed another strip of muslin, and when I'm doing a 5-inch hoop, I cut it 8 inches. I'm sorry, 9 inches. You could probably get away with 8 inches, but 9 inches is what I normally cut it. Maybe cut 8.5. 8.5 would be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop this up. And at this point, I think most of you know why I use muslin, but maybe there's somebody new. And they're like, why do you use muslin instead of stabilizer? And I do it, initially I did it because that's what Nikki Brazel told me to do. And I just did what I was told to do. I'm obedient like that. But, I continue to use it because I like the way it feels. It feels good. It's not as plasticky. I do think that the no-show mesh is plasticky. Although I use the no-show mesh and I love the no-show mesh and everyone should have it in your stash of stabilizer. So by all means, don't think that you should be using muslin in place of stabilizer all the time. It works in situations like this when you have backing that's stabilized with shape flex. So because muslin will provide no stabilization. It basically just provides you a base that you can embroider upon. So and at this point as well, I think it's cheaper than buying because like that's 90 inches, right? 90 inches and 4 times 90, 360. So for 10 yards of 9-inch, is that right? Am I doing that right? We sell it for $10.99, and I think it'll be like maybe around half the cost, 2/3 the cost, something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. I'm hooped up. We're going to be doing spool 1. Spool 1 is going to be this one right here. And the order in which we stitch this is really important because we are going to do it all in one hooping and we are going to do the quilting. We'll quilt once it's all pieced, but that's not the order in which it'll come up on your screen. So you just have to keep that in mind. When I stabilize my background pieces, I always go through this list right here and I will highlight anything that says background. However, even though the ones for spool of thread say background, I didn't stabilize this with Shape Flex because then it's really, really firm. So I'll look back through and I'll go, oh, wait a minute. These are for piecing in the hoop, and then I don't stabilize them with the Shape Flex because, like I said, it's a little too firm. There's a little too much going on there for me. So this is what you should have. You should have your piece of batting that we're going to be building on, and then you should have all of these pieces that we're going to be putting down. And let's go ahead and load everything into the machine. Let's get started. And then I was playing around. Oh, look at, I want to show you this. I have my thread organized here. This was a gift from Alice, and these are project trays. And this was in there from laserbeaststudio.com. But I thought that was really nice just to like lay that all out and have my threads all ready to go. Because usually I'm like scrambling and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm barely holding it together. That's my normal life on a daily basis. All right, I am going to turn this so I can read this. Sorry. I'm trying to read your messages too. All right, so we are going to do Oh So Delightful quilting first. So put in your quilting design first. And I also saw those at Dime. But you know, Laser Beast Studios are like a smaller company. It's always nice to support your local small business. All right, for spool 1, we are doing Hearts 5. And we are selecting the 4x4 design. And hoop size, 5x7. So go to your settings. It's always good to select your hoop size so you know your embroidery field. Like you have an outline of it. Don't move it yet. We're going to go ahead and add. And we're adding spool. Spool, I don't know if I'm hitting this button because I put my USB in my lower port. And so happy. Wait a minute. Did I hit the wrong button? What just happened here? Okay, sorry about that. Give me 1 second. I have no idea. My designs are no longer there. Let me put them on. Give me a second. Okay. What could have happened to my USB? Kimberbell. It was so delightful. Movie files. Yes. Really weird. Something strange is happening. Embroidery. Give me just a second. Sorry, I'm having a technical difficulty. Not how I like to start off the day. Copy. Okay, maybe I have a corrupt USB. Hang on just a second. Because it's not letting me load this. Embroidery. Okay, that let me do that. I think my USB is correct. And I don't know if anyone had this issue as well. Hang on just a second. Let me get my quilting designs on there too. Copy. Oops. Nope. Copy. Oh my goodness. Something is happening here. Okay, we're going to just go with this for now. I'm going to try and load both of them because I am having some issues. Let me do this. Let me do this. And maybe we'll take a little break and I'll deal with those USBs. These are the ones that I've been using the whole entire time, so I'm not really sure what just happened. Let me go ahead and load the spools on top. Sorry about that. Let me bring back up my screen so I can see what is happening with you. Oh, thanks, Alice. You made me happy. Look, I mean, can I not feel happy when I needed one more spot? When this looks so beautiful. I mean, and it made me feel so organized too. I was like, oh my God, all my thread are all in one spot. Could it be? Okay, I'm going to try this now. I'm looking for the spools. Spools. Here we go. Go ahead and set. Don't touch it in the screen. We're going to touch embroidery. And now we're going to move it in this screen. I'm going to go layout, move, and I'm going to scoot it up. Now, my hoop is not on yet. So it will let me move that out of the embroidery field. But as soon as I put my hoop on and I lower that, now when I hit my up arrow, it'll stop when it goes up as far as it can go. Yes, the joy of live TV. I have no idea what just happened. Of course, I'm panicking right now. Let me take a deep breath. Calm myself down. Calm down, Jeannie. All right. First thing we're going to do, if you look at this stitch list, it's going to be placement for batting, tack down for batting, placement for background fabric, tack down for background fabric. We're not going to be doing these 3 steps. We're skipping all of that. So we're going to do the turquoise, and then we're going to skip the quilting. The quilting's going to happen at the end after we do all our piecing. And there's your close-up. See all that piecing? That's all your like flip and folding right there. So I have, let me put in a color that I can see. Color's not going to make a difference for this until you get to the very end and you do the quilting. So I'm going to put in pink just so it's something that you can see, or you know what? I'm more of a gray person. Let me put gray in. Did you hear, ladies and gents? Gray is out. You know how everyone painted everything gray? I love gray. Our kitchen's gray. I don't care if it's out. I'm still going to use it because I love it. I like a warm gray. A grayish. That's what I really like. Okay. Placement for your batting. Take your batting. Give it a little shot of spray. Here is my handy dandy spray tent. Looks so beautiful. And then here's my piece of batting. You can also spray the first piece of fabric that's going to go down, because it's going to go face down. Other than that, we're not going to, let's see which one's the first one, because it's going to go down face down. What you don't want to do is you never want to spray the right side of your fabric. I sprayed the right side of my fabric the other day. It was like a gray and I couldn't tell what was what. This is going to be the first piece and the only piece that we're going to be putting face down. Everything's going to be going right side down and then flipping and folding. So you're grabbing that one piece that looks like, it looks like this floral. I think it's this one. So I'm going to give this a shot of spray too. Okay, I use Genau, KK100. We carry it in the store. I love it. It's like the perfect amount of stick. Because I've tried like those other ones. I've gotten samples of them, or, you know, they've given them to us. And I don't know. They just don't do it for me. And then this is the spray tent that I use. This is the dime spray tent. I just put a piece of cardboard in here. I'll show this to you really quickly. It is so nice because you just do this and this. And then look how small it is. And it comes with a little pouch, which of course I can't find. And then when you're ready to use it, there we go. Just like camping. And how they have these for camping? We had these for like the kids. Like little sun tents that you could just open up like that. All right, I'm going to take that piece of batting. And I'm going to stick it right down in here. And now we're going to stitch out the template. Let's fast forward. I had issues the whole time. What did you have issues with? I missed it. Delivery. I just have to stitch the... Oh, did you have an issue with your thumb drive? I usually use this. So I have no idea what was going on with that thumb drive. Last night when I did my cuties and I stitched out the borders, okay, we're going to go to the next step and then I'll tell you my story. We're going to go to this button right here. Let's let you go forward and backward. Stitches and whole thread colors. That's our tack down. We're not doing that because we cut our batting to side. Background, tack down. This is the quilting. We're skipping that. And we're going to stitch this. Now, I've got to be a little bit careful because my batting's kind of thick and I just want to make sure that the foot doesn't scoop it. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch this out. I'm going to keep my finger here on the start stop button. So if it does catch my fabric or my batting, I can stop it. So go ahead and stitch out your template. Oh, yeah, Cindy, when we were looking for the... Okay, so this is what happened. I went to stitch out the borders for my April cuties, and this is where we got to be careful. I'm just going to go ahead and lift it up so it doesn't catch it. And it was... I'm going to lift up my foot, tuck that underneath. The size was 2.75. Like, I've always fit 4 of those strips in my 10.5 by 10.5 inch hoop. However, this would definitely cause a huge issue. I'm going to just cut that thread because it's sewed into my batting and the batting is getting sucked into... Ooh, you see that? Yeah. Yikes. Alrighty, hang on. I'm just going to gingerly take that out. There we go. I got to watch out for that. That was, anyhow. It was 2.75 inches wide. And all the other ones are 2.5. So I checked, I reloaded it, and I loaded it again. So anyone else who's done cuties and you've done the April one, did you find the same, was that the same thing for you? Did you have, was it 2.75 inches wide? So I went ahead and I shrunk it down to 2.48 inches. My choice was either 2.53 or 2.48. I figured 5.3 was 0.3 away, and I would do the 4.8 because I was only 0.2 away. You know, I had somebody call me the other day and they were concerned because their stitch wasn't straight. And if you look at this, I mean, this is on muslin. So you have a really loose weave, which means when your needle goes in, it could go to the right or to the left. So, and sometimes it's just the thread. So don't worry about it. If that ever happens to you, try it on another piece of fabric if it looks perfect and have a high quality fabric. Then you don't have to worry about it. But this is muslin, and like I said, the weave is loose. So when it goes in, it might go left or right of that fabric, the part of the fabric weave. Okay. Where's your background fabric? No background fabric because we are going to piece on top of the template. So let's grab our instructions. Make sure I don't lead you astray. Stop me if I do. Very first, we're going to do the quilting at the very end. First thing we're going to do, and your template is right here, and it's numbered. So you know exactly where you're going to put down your piece. First piece we're going to put down is number 1. You're going to put it right side down. Here is piece number 1, or where number 1 goes, and you're just going to lay this right down on top of that. And don't worry about your color thread. We are piecing in the hoop. You don't need to worry about that. Now that is your trim line. It's also your placement line. So get your applique scissors. I'm going to use snips. Let me grab my, this is what it's come to. I've just started just putting everything in here. I'm going to grab these. I love snips. If it's a single layer of fabric and I can use my snips, that's what I'll use. And if you hold your fabric up at like a 90-degree angle, that's how you get like the closest. You're going to snip right above. Okay. This is your trim line. Now you're going to get your next piece of fabric and you're going to lay it down and you're going to center it to that stitch. And the next piece of fabric is this one right here. Do not spray it. Center it to the stitch and put that edge of the fabric right on the stitch line. Now it's going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I did my thread detail at the end. Yes, that's what we're going to do too. We are going to do all the piecing and then we're going to do the quilting stitch at the very end. Okay. This is the only time I spray in the hoop. If you're heavy-handed and you don't feel like, and you know you're going to get spray everywhere, don't do this. You can just like pull it over and finger fold it, finger press it. There we go. You can always get a piece of cardboard, cut a little hole in it so it covers everything except where you're spraying. Okay. Next piece, now this is going to be your trim line, placement line. It's trim line first because we're going to trim it. Next piece we're going to lay down is going to be this little pinstripe one. I love this fabric. I love all of it. They needed a new line of basics. Okay, you're going to trim and just extend that line like it exists, even though it doesn't. You're going to lay this down, face down, edge of the fabric on that stitch line. Make sure you have an equal amount on the right and the left, and then go ahead and stitch, and that's going to do your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Yeah, if you want to use, you could totally use like a glue stick or something. Whatever works for you. Don't let me bully you into doing it my way. It's my way or the highway now. I just, I feel like for me, the easiest thing to do is just a little shot of spray. And I'm a very talented sprayer. It's one of my superpowers. My superpowers are spraying in the hoop and losing my laptop at the store. You cannot even believe how quickly I do that. Okay. Again, that is your trim line, placement line. Trim it, and then we're going to place. I love piecing in the hoop because everything is so precise. The only thing I don't like about piecing the hoop is I feel like there's a lot of wasted fabric, but I mean, it looks so good. So I just need to get over myself. Get over yourself, Jeannie. Oh, Anna's been ironing them down. Yes, I think that's actually what it says to do in your instructions. It says to iron it. But I'm too lazy to take my hoop off, put my hoop on. That's why I spray. Lazy. Yeah, but ironing it is fantastic. And there are Dye makes like a 5x7 hoop that is specifically made for doing things like that because it fits right underneath this. And I think they do it for the different brands. This is a full can. It's very full. So you could get one of those and then you could do your ironing. The Fawns and Porter one that doesn't hoop the needle. Are you talking about glue? Because use it. Yeah, if you love it, it works well, use it. I want you to be happy. Okay, you have 2 small pieces and 2 big pieces. So let's make sure we're using the right ones because now we're going to be, this is one of their new fabrics. And it is their multi-dot. So we're going to trim this first. Go ahead and trim it. Trim it the best you can at these little joints because it might not let you get completely close. And it's thick here, so you might need like different pair of scissors. That's good enough. And then we're going to, let's see if this is the fabric. Is this it? Do we need the big one for the top or the bottom? Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. And then the top and the bottom have the big pieces. Let me look ahead. Yes. Okay. Make sure you center it to the stitch. You only get like, it looks like what? Like 1/8 of an inch on either side. And 1/4 inch seam allowance. Done by the machine. Oh, this small clover iron. I'm a little bit over that. Let's make sure that's okay. Is that going to be okay? That doesn't go all the way over. Let me check my measurements. Because that should go all the way over. So, background. Oh, there's another piece. Okay, we're good. We're good. So it doesn't have to go all the way over. Because you're going to have... See if you look at the picture. Oh, it's a little piece here, little piece here, little piece there, and then big piece. So we're good. Just want to make sure. Whoa, did you hear that? I got a little heavy-handed. Okay, that's okay. All right, now it's going to do the right side. That's going to be your trim. We're going to trim, then we're going to place. I haven't done an Anita Good quilt in a long time, and I really miss it. I love Anita Good, but it's been a while. I think what was the last one I did? It might have been the Playhouse, because I was, I think I did the cow. I mean, my all-time favorite is, I think it's got to be Fairy Tales. Because, oh my God, was that one just not the cutest ever? If you've never done it, you should. Okay, make sure you're centered to the stitch. I'm centered. At this point, I don't even know if Anita Good works with the retailer. I've always, you know, I still push some of their, let me hold this in one hand, some of their quilts, and then, but they said they weren't doing that for us anymore. So I don't know what's going on with them. If it's just they're straight to if they're straight to consumer at this point. Okay, that is going to be your cut and trim line. Is this so cute? I know, I was addicted too. I kind of needed a change though when Kimberbell came out, but I think I'm ready to check them out again. There's so many great patterns out there. So many wonderful patterns, not enough hours in the day. I don't know if anyone has seen that book, Make It Mini, but I think Michelle and I are going to do a collaborative class together. I think she's going to, where we have you, if you have it, you cut your pieces on the Scan-A-Cut. It's going to kind of be like Land of Liberty. What I love about that book is it is, they're small sizes. It's piecing, traditional piecing. And then we can add in some IQ Designer. So, because there's hand embroidery, but we'll take that hand embroidery into IQ Designer. And then we'll turn it into a machine embroidery design. There we go. Perfect. And if this isn't big enough, don't worry, you have the muslin on the back side. That's why I love the muslin too. You always have that on the back side, so you can just trim to the muslin. I know, I have all the books, and like, there's so many great projects that someday I'll do. Sorry, this is rocking. Okay, trim line. Isn't this fun? Piecing in the hoop. Sometimes when it gets thick, I'll just cut one layer and then do the other layer. Or just switch to hardier scissors. I'm going to put this down on the placement line. It'll do the 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then we're going to flip and fold. Miss Carolyn, oh no, did I miss your email? Will you send me another email? I was actually doing that this morning before I sat down. IQ Designer class, and you want to take the IQ Designer class for the Solaris and the Luminaire, I'm assuming, because that is this week, so let's get you signed up for that. Hang on. That's a great class. It's a great intro. Maybe I didn't make it down through my emails low enough. Okay. Now it's doing another one. Oh my God, did I do the wrong one? Because I wasn't paying attention. I totally did the wrong one. Oh my goodness. Okay. Take a little break. I'm going to rip this out. I was just on autopilot. These should have been the tops of my spools. I was not paying attention. Shoot. And hopefully you were paying attention and you didn't just do what I did. Because this is going to have to go up above it. Let me just get this started. Sometimes I'll use my Kai seam ripper. There we go. Have you ever used one of these? It's kind of nice. Sorry about that. Holy cow. That was me thinking and not reading. All right. Now, how do I put a message in so that they don't do this too? That's the thing I'm worried about, like people that watch it later. They're like, okay, she just put down her polka dot fabric. Oh, let me grab my seam ripper. Okay, I'm going to go back steps. You know what I love about these tweezers is I love the, the seam ripper. I love the tweezers so I can just like grab it. Here we go. All right, let's go back steps. I'm going back to... That is the new placement trim line. This goes forward, this goes back. That's placement trim. Placement trim. That's my, let me see. Okay, so that, let's go forward. That's this right here. So now I'm going to, I want to go to orange. So orange is going to be the tack down. And I am going to grab my little blue pieces. Sorry about that. What was the pink tool you just used? The pink tool was, this is a Kai seam ripper. It's a Kai stitch remover. And I love it. It's just easy to use. You can kind of just, I don't know, saw next to it. This is going to do, look at where your stitch is and make sure that this isn't where we just stitched, that it's going to be a 1/4 inch below. That's going to be your 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have to add a note. Can I add a note? I have to add a note to make sure that they don't do what I just did. That was me just talking, not paying attention. Sorry about that. I don't want to spray too much. Okay. This one, we already did that line. That's turquoise. So I'm going to fast forward to the orange. That's going to be the tack down. Let me go here. I'm going to grab my other blue piece. At least I'm going to try to grab it. I dropped it. Oh, here it is. Now I'm getting hot. Mistakes make me hot. Okay. Make sure your needle is where it would stitch a 1/4 inch. Carriage moves. There. That's a 1/4 inch. Stitch it. This should be orange that you're stitching. I finished all the blocks, but cannot wait. I started doing... Let me read that message in just a second, Miss Joanne. Yeah, don't ever wait. Who wants to wait? I am like impatient. That's another thing that makes me learn, because for the most part, if I can get Patrick to do it for me, especially if it's like technology or something, I always let Patrick do it for me. However, sometimes he makes me wait, which forces me to learn, because I want it when I want it. Okay, caught up again. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stitch above here and then trim. And now we're laying down the small piece. So this one's going to get laid down. I'm going to kind of open that up again. Pull out those stitches. Now he's ready to go. And he's already sprayed too. So we are going to, let me look at my instructions before. So we just did the top, the bottom, and now we're putting the little piece up here on the top. It's going to be a little sliver, basically, just like a little sliver of fabric up on the top. Focus, Jeannie, focus. So Joanne, you finished it up. You started doing your inner border. It said it's a 1/4 yard, but you only have is a fat quarter. So I think what happened with that is there was a 1/4 yard, like full 1/4 yard, but then there was only a fat quarter. So if when you were cutting your pieces, you grabbed the 1/4 yard instead of the fat quarter, then you would then you wouldn't have that full, you know, the long strips. But I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure what happened with your stuff. That is my guess, because they had for fabrics, I'm going to have to hold this a little bit. They had multiple fabrics where they had like a alert. That's what I'm going to do. You can actually add an alert note. I hope the alert note doesn't get, I hope there's like description so I can put that in. Okay, mine's already sprayed. I'm just going to go ahead and push it to the back. Finger press that. We're not skipping any steps now because we just had to skip those because we already had that. We already had the trim placement line. Okay, same thing down here. Joanne said she made the same mistake. So maybe you would have made that mistake without me. I don't know. Okay, I'm calmed down again. I think my breathing has resumed to normal. Oh, it looks so pretty. I love it. Okay, grab your last little bitty piece of striped of polka dot fabric, if you can find it, because I am not seeing mine. Mine is miss. Oh, here it is. You know what? For me, I was like, oh no. I thought maybe it was got stuck underneath and was like stitched down. I don't know if you've ever done that before. That is one of my specialties. Losing my fabric and scooping it up with my project and having it stitched down to the underside of project by accident. Alrighty. Last one. Now we're going to do the left and the right, and we're going to be putting on the big piece of polka dot. Hello, Miss Cindy. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I didn't get my coffee today. Our coffee maker broke. Patrick, isn't it so convenient that Patrick got his coffee and then it broke? So he was, we have like different canned coffees too, like cold brew and stuff like that. So he was trying to give that to me. But to be honest with you, I'm not a like huge coffee lover. I love the coffee routine. I love it. I love looking forward to the coffee in the morning. I love holding the coffee. Technical. How do you find the tail of the bobbin thread when it's not out? I'm going to show you. Hang on just a second. That's so funny that you say that, because I was talking about that in my sew along video, either for Oh So Delightful, or it could have been for April's Cuties that I was finishing up last night. All right, I'm going to grab a bobbin. Let me lay down my fabric first. You're going to grab one of your longer pieces of gorgeous polka dot, and you're going to lay that down, center it, lay the edge down on that stitch line, and let it stitch that 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let me grab my fancy thing of Filtech bobbins. Oops. That's okay. You're going to have plenty of fabric. Did you see mine shifted? So pay attention to that. All right. So you can look on the underside. So this side doesn't have it. So it must be this side. And see how you can see the thread coming out? I have 2 tails. See, I know it's hard to see. Let me see if I can get it to focus. But you can kind of see there. Oh, maybe that's the angle. So pull on them. And whichever one releases easier, Don't be so committed that you pull on it like for multiple rounds. This one, let's see. Is it this one? Oh yeah. And then this one I might just clip so I don't get confused. That's it. So yes, look on the, you'll be able to see on the side where it should pull. Like this one. This one has 2 as well. So you're just going to pull on one of them and see which one releases easier. Okay? Hopefully that helps you. I know other people had that same question, so I'm glad that you asked. Okay, spray. A little bit of spray for Jeannie. I was in the kitchen the other night, and I was doing something with Kai. And he goes, "You sound like you have multiple personalities." I was reprimanding myself. I was like, "Oh, I love it. Don't do that. Why are you so lazy?" I was talking to myself like that. And he's like, "You sound like one of those people that have split personalities or multiple personalities," because I was literally yelling at myself. I was like, "Ooh, I want that. That looks so good." And then I like yelled at myself like, "Why would you eat that? You don't need it." I think I may do that in the sew-alongs too. I don't know. Let me go back. There we go. And if you, I don't know, regardless of whether you press or tape or glue, pay attention to your pieces and make sure they don't get shoved around. We had, those are the easy. Yes, okay, yes. There are some where they are like, they're pretty tucked in there. Like, and what I will do is I will use my precision tip tweezers. Because if there's just like the tiniest bit, you can grab them with that. But it's not all tweezers are created equal. Those precision tip tweezers are like the best. And that little tip, you can really, really grab stuff. We'll go search for like, and quite honestly, I probably have a fallen soldier in like each one of my boxes that just gets chucked. Well, I don't know, do I? Yeah, and then you just keep throwing it in the new box and you still can't get it out, and it's, you could commit to just like cutting one thread. Cutting a thread on the outside and just going with it. But I know what you're talking about. There are ones like that. Okay, I'm going to hold it here so it doesn't scoot. Going to give it a shot of spray, and then we're going to do the quilting stitch. We're going to go back. We're going to go find that quilting stitch, and it's going to go right on top, and we are done with the spool. We are only going to do one spool in the sew along because I want to get to other stuff. But now you know how to do it. Okay, it's going to do an outside kind of outline stitch. These are good, and it's kind of nice to have it in a color you can see, so when you fussy cut around it, you're not searching like I was for some of those white stitches. Oh my goodness, it is so cute and sweet. And then get your white thread or whatever thread you want to do your quilting with. All right. I'm putting my thread right back in my little thread stand, Alice. And it looks so beautiful, and it's keeping me neat and tidy, which I struggle with. I'm going to tell Patrick, look, this organizer really does help me stay organized. Because most things don't really work for me. I'm just kidding myself. All right. Oh, wait a minute. So you know what? I just missed something. So there is a stitch. We're not doing the quilting yet. Just stay with me. Let me get out my instructions. Good thing I looked at my screen. So we did all the piecing. And now it just wants to do that little thread right there. So they're showing it in taffy. So I'm going to put my taffy in. When I take out my thread, I like to show this one time in each sew along. I do not pull back. I'm going to unthread. I'm just going to unthread it here, unthread it here. Make sure that this trapdoor is not closed. That means your tension disc is closed. And once it gets right past this corner, it just comes right out. That is how I take out my thread. I'm not pulling back. Okay, let me go ahead and put this in. Then I think we'll be ready for our quilting. Go ahead and stitch that little piece of string. Okay, so Michelle says, let's see if we can find one that is like difficult. I go through mine. Now it's saying it's over, but it's not over. It ain't over till we do our quilting. So there's our quilting right here. If you have the feature and you can just touch in here, I'm going to just touch in there, but I'm looking for the green, so I'm looking in this one. Oh my goodness. Shoot. Hang on, ladies. This is why we should not have unopened things. And I just spilled my bubbly water. Good thing that wasn't on, well, everything I have is in this sleeve. It got a little bit on my section 1 and 2, which isn't a big deal. And it didn't go near my machine. I'll just put a towel down here and we'll get that later. And it got on my book a little bit. Okay. It's one of those days. Okay, so I'm looking for the green. I'm just going to go to my next step. That's still orange. And now I'm in my green, and you can see the stitching right there. I'm going to put my white thread in. Take out my taffy. And I'm usually pretty careful, and I put my drinks behind me, and I don't know what I was thinking. And let's do the quilting. And while it's doing the quilting, I am going to look for a tough piece of a tough bobbin that we can do the little twisty method. Because I bet I have one in here that's been floating around for a while that I can't bring myself to throw away, but I can't get the end out. Mine all look awesome. Ooh. No, that one's pretty good too. Okay, here. I think I got one. Maybe it's like older ones, because this is from a brand new box, and like they're all pretty fantastic. Okay, this one is a perspective candidate too. Good thing it was just bubbly water. All right. So this one has, I mean, it has like the littlest tail sticking out. But let's pretend like nothing. Oh, look at, I have a big tail right there. So Michelle said she holds the plastic sides of the bobbin flat between my fingers and twists my fingers on my other hand. I'm not quite sure. So you hold flat between my fingers and twist my fingers on my other hand around back and forth. Usually the bobbin thread will pop out. So do you do this? Like this? Am I doing it right? I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. Is this what you mean? Maybe like that? You're gonna have to make us a video and then see. Like this one, I do have a big tail, but this one, the tail is super tiny. I can see it. I can see it right there coming up, like right here. Here's a big tail. I wonder if it's the big tail. Yep, that one came right out. So we'll have to figure that out. And we are done with our spool, and it looks absolutely adorable. I love it. So let's go ahead and let's hoop up for the next one. What I want to do is I would like to do whatever fits in the 5x7 first. So the next one that's going to fit in the 5x7, and you're just going to unhoop, rehoop, do all 3 spools just the way we did it. We can go ahead and we can do our cross stitch. So cross stitch is going to be in the 5x7. We're going to do one of those. Turn on your iron if you haven't put shape flex on the back of that. I didn't have you do that in the prep video because I just missed that step. Here's my wet mat, but that's okay. We'll be fine. I'm going to unhoop. Let's go ahead and unhoop that. We're going to scoot it up. We're going to rehoop for the next embroidery. This morning, somebody had sent me a message, and I can't remember who it was, but thank you so much for the heads up about the that we needed to put shape flex on the back of the cross stitch blocks. And then I was talking to somebody else about it. I'm a palmer. I use the palms of my hand to shove my embroideries in. Okay, let me grab this. I'm going to put these to the side. That was so much fun. I love piecing the hoop. Those are some of my favorite blocks to do. And we are going to be doing cross stitch heart. So I had a couple people ask me where I get my sleeves. These are like the Game Note ones. That's the brand I really like. I don't like the brand that begins with an S. I can't remember what that is. I'm going to take this fabric out, and I'm going to go ahead and fuse my shape flex to the back of these. These are our 2 cross stitch blocks. Here's my shape flex, 4x4 squares. I couldn't remember if there were 3 or if there were 2. There's not really a right or a wrong side. Trick to getting your shape flex to adhere, because I had somebody come in that was like, I can't get it to stick. It's time. You need to, and moisture. You need to make it moist. So use steam or use, do I have steam in here? I do. You need to use some kind of moisture. And then you need to just let your iron sit. And I know it's hard to do that. For me, it's especially hard. Because I'm so... What's going on here? Good thing this is the back of my iron, because... Did you see that? Something icky's on it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. I have bone ash iron cleaners here somewhere. Icky iron. But where? I don't know. Good thing this is on the back side. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap fabric. And let's get that off. I don't want that getting on the front of my iron. And I'll have to find my bone ash cleaners in a little bit. Okay, so that is on the back side, which is good. I barely even held this down and I don't want to get that icky stuff back on my iron. And I don't think it's going to show. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and load our design. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. Spilt my soda. Got icky stuff on my iron. My USB wouldn't work. I don't know, are these messages? Somebody tell me not to embroider today because it's not an option. I must. We are going to be doing, let's do cross stitch heart 1, and we're loading hearts 5, 4, and I think that's what we just used, isn't it? We just used that design. So if you don't want to reload it, we can just go ahead and say okay. We can return, which takes us to our edit screen. I can separate these so now I can see them, and this one I can just go ahead and hit delete. You just want to make sure you're deleting the right one. So now we have our design up, so I don't have to go searching for it. But that's going to be hearts 5, 4x4. Now we're going to add to that. I'm going to take that, I'm going to center it. So edit, move, center it. And I'm centering it because we're going to bring the other design in and it'll load right on top. So now I'm going to hit add. We're going to go to our design. My USB is, let's see if it's working. I think I loaded it down here. This may or may not work. It's here, right? Or is that on the top? Oh, it's on the top. And we're doing cross stitch, and I think this is going to be the first one, heart 1. We do 2 hearts, and then we do that one. Okay, heart 1. Go ahead and set it. It's centered because we moved our design back to the center, so it's centered, and we are good to go. We can just go embroidery. That's going to combine your designs. I'm going to grab my hoop and slide it on. And then I'll move my design up so it doesn't go outside of my embroidery field. And let's go layout, move, and scoot it all the way to the top. And there we go. First step, let's get our book, because you've all seen what happens when I just make up my own steps. Whoop, goes one of my threads. Oh, we'll do the iron later. We're going to do the iron. I was putting that into my machine this morning. When we do the iron, we're going to do the iron in an 8x12 with 2 filler blocks. And if you don't have an 8x12, you can just go ahead and stick to a 7x12, an 8x12, a 9.5x9.5. You do need to use something bigger than a 6x10 if you're going to add the quilting stitches. So, you know, oh, see, I missed it. Background fabric and hooped fabric. So that's what I missed. Let's go ahead, and I just have white in there. I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. And that is going to do the placement stitch for the batting. Let me go ahead and spray the batting and our background fabric. We'll do the blue one first. And I'm spraying. You guys know where I'm spraying now, so I'm not going to take the camera over there. So take your fabric. You're going to place it right inside. When we're doing stuff, most of the time when we're doing our blocks and they have batting and then background fabric like this, which is going to be bigger, we're going to be doing steps 1 and 4. We're going to be skipping steps 2 and 3. So now that we have that down, we are going to go ahead and let's skip ahead. The orange is the tack down for the batting. The turquoise is the placement for your background. The orange is your tack down for your background. I'm going to leave the white in. That way it'll be easy to trim. Are those my 3 strikes? Nothing else can go wrong now. So do you, Janet, do you just like hand rinse it? Just like put it in the, like put it in your kitchen sink and just rinse it and then put it out in the sun? Like don't agitate it too much so it gets more matted. Is that what I should do? Okay, we're going to do the quilting stitch right now. Do you want to see it? It says to do navy. So I'm going to go ahead and put my navy in. The thread color from your thread kit is going to be called denim. Oh, they do. So this is in yellow. It's in pink. It's in white. I am not sure if it's in other fabrics. I mean, if it's in other colors, but I know it's going to be in those colors. After all of our kits are cut for cuties too, I'll take all our fabric and we'll put it up and we'll do like a sale on it. Here's our quilting. And then we're going to put the fabric down for the hoop. Off-white fabric, give that a little shot of spray. And then get your colors ready. You're going to need red for the stitch detail. I think it's apple in your kit. The gray, I'm going to be using coin. So I'm going to be using this, and then for the bamboo, it's up to you, but I think I'm going to use mocha. You could use, that's pretty yellow though, huh? Not sure which color they're referring to. Let me look. Let's see if they... Tan. What's the tan in the kit? Is it mocha? Maybe sand dune. You know, I had all the colors and then I took them all out and I took one of them and put it away. So it's like the tan. So I'm not sure which tan they're referring to. Does anyone have their tan from their thread kit? Okay, I'm going to put this back on my tray. My God, I'm so organized. All right, and then it says color doesn't make a difference, but the next color that will matter is going to be the white, which, I mean... that doesn't really make a difference either because it's just for the tack down, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'll put in my white right now. Who's got the tan color from the thread kit? And which color is it? I can look it up. if nobody knows. This is placement stitch for the fabric, and you should have that stabilized with Shapeflex. Otherwise, this is going to shadow. So you really do need. It is mocha. Okay, I thought it was mocha. Thank you, Anna. No grandkids today? Just lay this down on top. And then you're going to need your scissors for trimming. I'm going to use my double curved. I'm going to use my itty bitty double curved. If anyone has been trying to buy the double curved, we have been sold out. Hi, Miss Deborah. We've been sold out of the large ones. I do have the 4.5 inch ones. Trim it. Then we're going to do the heart. Okay, let's put in the red. Oh, here's that fabric that you like again. So it's also apparently in this, like, I don't know, what kind of blue is this? This is like I don't even know what kind of blue to call it. But then it also has that like that teal color. It's in that as well. So cute. I get my abbreviations mixed up for the M states. So is M-O, I don't want to sound stupid. Is that Missouri? No, is Missouri MS? No, Mississippi is MS. Is Mississippi MS? Michigan is MI. Missouri is MO. Montana's MT. Am I getting them all wrong? I'm probably getting them all wrong. Maryland is MD. That is cute. I know it's so simple, but it is so cute. Okay, I'm going to put coin in next. It is Missouri. I really have to think, though. I was watching a Perfect Match, and it's a very, it's a silly dating show, and I'm way too old to be watching those. I can't even, I'm almost embarrassed that I'm telling you this. And they had to, in pairs, they had to wager, like, how many countries they could identify, and then go and you know, label them on a map. And it was, they weren't able to get very many. That looks cute. Cute, cute, cute. And now I'm going to put in the mocha. That's what was in the kit. I don't think we're known for our geography. here in the States. Like our knowledge of geography. All right, now I'm going to do the outline of the bamboo hoop. And then we are done with this one. Then life is good. What time is it? It's 8:17. Let me look at our list because maybe we'll just do all the hoops. Let's see. You know what? Let's only do this one. We're going to do this one. We'll do Life is Good, which is going to be really similar. And the dress form, because I do want to do the iron and the sewing machine, and I think those two are going to take longer. But we'll go ahead and do Life is Good. Oh, the mocha looks fantastic. I was worried it was going to be too tan. It looks fantastic. Perfect. So Deborah, I'm West Coast time. So, because I think we're, what, 2 hours? 2 hours behind you. So if it was like 1 o'clock your time, it was at 11 o'clock here, and I was trying to get it done. I was like, I gotta get this done. I didn't even finish it. I need to layer it, but I did my... I love my bunnies, and I love them in the felt. I just love it. Because everything I kit it according to what Kimberbell has us, what they use. But I like the bunny being just a little bit lighter than that dark, the dark slate, or what was it, charcoal. So if anyone still needs the kit and you want me to put felt in it instead, I will do that. If you want me to change it out, just make a little note. I can't stay up late anymore either. It, at this point, destroys me. I want to say innately in my heart, I am a night owl. I'm a night person. And people said having kids would make me a morning person. Having kids and having dogs has made me a tired night person. Because I get up early, but I really do want to I want to stay up late. Patrick is a morning person. You know what, Deanna? I think my kids know all the states too, because they had like different games they played, and there were like online games that they played to remember. So I think Violet knows states and capitals. Oh, the tail, the fringe tail on the bunny is so cute. Oh, this is cute. Okay, I want you to grab your stuff for Life is So Good. We're going to hoop up. And I think you need to put that shape flex on the back of the circle for that as well. This way. Life is so good. It is. Here's Life is So Good. I'm heating up my iron right now. My shape flex on the back of this. Make sure there's nothing icky on here. Like, you don't want to sandwich it in between. And don't press on the right side of your fabric. Start with the wrong side. Start with the shape flex, just in case you have an iron like mine, which I have no idea when it even got icky. Okay, Moisture and time is going to be your friend when you're trying to adhere shape flex. Otherwise, sometimes it doesn't stick. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I didn't hear it ring. Oh, but it says finished. Let's go ahead and rehoop. In the 3rd grade. I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't remember having to. We probably did, and I just don't remember them. I'm pretty good with U.S. geography. I'm okay with world geography. But I wouldn't say I'm fantastic. We had a gal in the store who's from Kazakhstan, and I had to look that up in the map, on the map. I was like, I do not know where Kazakhstan is. All right, let's put it on the machine. Let's load everything up. Hopefully my designs are there. And we'll get stitching. I'm touching my home button. Home is going to clear your screen. Oh, before we do that, let's make sure it's not hearts. Because if it's hearts, we don't want to clear it. Oh, look, it is hearts. We're using hearts again. Cancel. We're going to say okay. We're going to return to take us to our edit screen. I'm going to separate these. We're getting rid of this. I was going to say we could keep that and save that, but the background, the quilting is different on the other one. So I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to center this. I'm going to go edit, move, center button. We'll center it, and I'm going to bring in the other design. So the other design is Life is So Good. I think I'm in my top one. Here we go. Life is So Good. I love anything cross stitch. I think cross stitch is just adorable. Okay, and we can just touch embroidery. So you don't always have to reload. It's combined here. My hoop is on. I'm going to go layout, move, and scoot it to the top. Say okay. And I have mocha still in there. I'm going to leave it in there. This is going to be the placement stitch for the batting. And then I'm going to spray. Here is the background fabric, and here's my batting. I'm going to give them both a shot of spray. And you might as well spray your white fabric too, the cream. Okay, I'm going to lay this down just right inside that. Here is my background fabric. Center it the best you can. Let me just outline it, make sure I'm there. And let's go ahead and we're going to skip some steps. Don't you love skipping steps? I love skipping steps. I'm that much closer to my goal. That's tack down for batting, placement for your background, tack down for your background. I have mocha in. I'm just going to leave that color in for this. And then we're going to do the quilting. As far as the quilting goes, the recommended color is aloe. Is it aloe? That's what I put in because that's what it looked like to me. So you could do either aloe or you could do clover if you want to see it. If you want like a different contrasting green. There is going to be embroidery on top, so let's keep it simple. I am going to just do the aloe. That's this one. Stitch your quilting. This is going to be nice and simple, just like the last one that we did. Hi, Marta. Did you get my email this morning? I sent you that, this spreadsheet. Okay. Quilting, 2 minutes. Welcome. What's going on in Puerto Rico today? How's the weather? Is it just gorgeous? I like learning too. Oh, it's cute. Alright, get your other piece sprayed. Oh no, your internet died. Oh. I'm like panicked if I don't have my internet. Although I tell Patrick all the time, I'm always like, I wish my kids were born like I was born maybe a generation ago. My kids were born like my generation, because it was like life was simpler then. I mean, I love all the conveniences, but I loved growing up the way I grew up. And it would be nice if we didn't have all the computers, but then I wouldn't know any of you. Don't you? I love fabric. Okay, this fabric is amazing, and they have it in that pink, which almost looks red, which looks pink, which is fantastic, and they have it in the gray, and I'm not sure if they have it in any other colors. I'm just going to leave this thread in. This is going to do the placement line. Let me look at my book though, make sure I'm not leading you astray, but I love it. I want to say it's called Sparkle. It's not glittery or anything, but I think that's what it's called, and it is just like my absolute favorite. Okay, so we just did, now we're going to stitch the hoop fabric placement line. Going to do that, leave that, and I already sprayed my fabric. I'm going to lay that down. The tack down, it wants you to do in white, but I'm just going to leave it in the mocha. Or, you know what, the aloe. It's aloe that I'm using right now, because it's going to be underneath the hoop. Let me see if it shows on the very top. So you do see it on the very, 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 very top. So I don't know if that matters to you. Maybe I should just do the white. Do you see it like right up here on this one? You can see like the littlest bit of a white stitch there. So, okay, I'm going to follow the directions and use the white. Internet. I love the internet though. Patrick and I watched these videos yesterday. We were laughing so hard. It was like a TikTok compilation, and it was all videos of like the dads weren't in on it. It was like the mom and the kids, and the mom would say something like, "Hey, I asked you to put those dishes away," and the kid would say, "Shut up, Mom!" They would just yell at their mom to shut up in front of the dad, and the dad wasn't in on the joke. So the dad, you would just see the dad's eyes get super big, like, what did that child just say? And oh my goodness, some of the dads, like, they got up fast because they were going to go after that kid, and the mom and the kid would be like, "It's just a prank. It's just a." but it was really, really funny. And I said to Patrick later, I was like, I don't think our kids have our kids ever told us to shut up? And he goes, he's like, I think Kai has. Patrick told me last night or this morning, we're waiting for Kai to put in his housing application at University of Utah because he's decided that he's going there. And Patrick told him to do it yesterday. And Kai was like, I can't because I have to work. He's very into he's a keyboard kid. I didn't even know there was such a thing, but he's super into his keyboards. Okay, was just paying attention to what was going on the screen. I'm gonna put in Taffy. So he said to Patrick, I can't because I'm working on my keyboards. I told Patrick I would have been up so fast that keyboard would have been ripped out of his computer and he would be working on that application. So as soon as this is over, I'm gonna go up and talk to him. There's no reason why he should be working on his keyboard over his application, his housing application. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Do you sell the Maywood Kimberbell fabric yardage? I sell almost all of the fabrics I have. The new fabrics, I have most of them. However, I'm not going to sell them yet until I finish kitting out Cuties 2. Some of the fabrics you can't get. Some of the fabrics they sell out and then it's 2 months before you can get them. So I'm just going to make sure I have everything for the kids and then we'll do it. He doesn't collect keyboards, but did somebody's dog die? Dog sit, not die. Oh, dog sit. Okay. I was so worried. He loves keyboards. He collects the little keys that go on. You can mod a keyboard and buy specific key caps. There are things that go under the key caps that you can get that cushion it, that make it sound different. I didn't know any of this. I did not know any of this. But I said to him, he actually, the other day, there was like a limited release of this new keyboard. And he goes, I really want to get it. I go, do you need another keyboard? You have 2 keyboards. And then he said to me, do you need any more boots? He said, oh my God. I said, touche. He said, he totally called me out because I love shoes and boots. He goes, do you need any more boots? Oh my God. I did not. And my jaw hit the ground and I was like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah. If you really want that keyboard, you don't ask for anything. Okay. You can get your keyboard. I think it is calling for So Good, this color. So I'm going to do Tidewater right now. Without missing a beat. I said, do you need another keyboard? And he goes, do you need any more boots? It was so funny. It was so funny. He could have been, or he could have said to any of us, do you need any more fabric? I don't know. Do you? Oh, she was sassy, huh, Cheryl? Yeah, I know. He's got that housing application. Believe me, Shannon, it is going to happen today. Oh my goodness, Michelle. I don't even, the feed, like the comments are going up, so I can't even, what were you looking? Oh, you want some of the fabrics? Yes. Just reach out. We'll get you some of the fabrics. Awkward. So stop talking so much, Jeannie. Let's finish up. We're going to do filler block 18. And the reason we're going to do filler block 18 is because it fits into our 5x7. So then we'll semi be done. You're going to have to go back and you're going to have to do hearts too. And then the spools. You know what? You guys know how to do the filler block. Let's go on to one of these. Let's do iron. So if you have an 8x12, I want you to get your 8x12. If not, you can do your iron in, you've got to do it in a bigger hoop. I'm going to be using my 8x12. I'm also going to put in these 3 blocks at the same time. Is that confusing? Is that confused? Should we just do, 4x8, 4x10? I'm trying to think of what's going to be best. Okay, let's finish this one up. I am going to grab my 8x12. We're going to combine some designs. It'll be fun. Grab your 8x12 if you have it. After this color, you are going to go ahead and you are going to do the little screw on the top. Uh-oh. Patrick's carrying Poppy in. I wonder if she got in trouble. Okay, the little screw on the top, and then we're going to do the outline of the hoop. Do I embroider my long boots? Oh, geez, you know, I've never embroidered anything like that. I love embroidery. I have a ton of embroidered clothing. You're right, Alice. It will be up to him, but I'm going to go up there and I'm going to flex a little mom muscle today for sure. Are you talking about me? Do I need big girl pants? I do. Life is too short. I need my big girl pants. I'm trying to read your comments while I'm putting in my thread. Now I'm going to put in my mocha. Don't have this quilts or not. Yes! Ashley, you can use it as a sit and sew. Just hang out. Do some sewing, sew some other stuff. We can talk about our kids and when they're being naughty. I don't embroider any of my clothing. I've never, and I've wanted to. So I have a lot of, okay, while it's doing this, I'm going to hoop my 8x12. I have a lot of Johnny clothing, which I absolutely love. I buy it all on sale because it's super expensive. And if you look at their embroidery, a lot of it is like they use thicker thread. So I went so far as to buy all of this thread, which is, I think I got it from Gnold, and it's Lana. It's like a little bit thicker and puffier. So I bought like tons of this, and I also bought, I'm putting it back in my drawer. I also bought, it's called thick thread designs. Like you cannot just embroider, you can't embroider with thick thread a regular embroidery design. It doesn't work like that. So I bought some, let me see if I have the one that I bought. It was actually an Anita Good design. And maybe they're coming out with more. I need a good Kitsch Patches Indigo Blossoms. Is this it? I bought this pattern. Isn't this pretty? So, oh, this is OESD. I'm pretty sure this one is thick thread designs. Like, you can go on and actually look up thick thread designs. Because since it's thick, you can't just use, it'll be too heavy. It'll be too dense if you use thick thread designs for regular embroidery designs. And you can Google it too. You can like look up thick thread embroidery designs. And that's as far as I got. Because I like buying all the stuff for the project and thinking about it and collecting all the stuff. And then it just sits there. Because then I'm scared to actually do it. And I was like, oh, I have to plan it out and like and then I have to pick my colors. And so I've never done more than buy all the thread, the patterns, and that's it. So someday I'm gonna make my I'm going to embroider some of my clothing and stuff, but I have not done any of that. I did a lot of like stuff for my kids. I'll go grab some when there's a moment. I'll go upstairs and like grab some of the clothing that I've done for her. But that's kind of how I started with sewing and embroidery. I was making stuff for my daughter, and I have some really, really cute clothing that I made. We're going to do iron. And I'm going to do the iron first, and then I'll go back and I'll do the filler blocks. I think that's what I'll do. So whatever hoop you want to do your iron is good. Here is all my stuff for it. And I'm in my 8x12. Let me read your comments again. What size needle do you use? Alright, for embroidery. Oh, and do you want to see a new pattern that I got that I'm going to do as a class? How much time do I have? So I have these needle notebooks. Where's my other one? Where's my baby one that I use the most? I don't know where it is. So here's my needle notebooks. We're gonna do these. They have a new one out. This is Pickle Pie. And where are my favorite needles? So and then I'll make some recommendations. Oh, look at this. I don't want Tap Stitch 80. My favorite needles. I can't even show you. Let me find them. My favorite needles are 7511 Oregon anti-glue needles for embroidery. And then for sewing, my favorite needle is going to be an Schmetz 8012 Microtex needle. Those are my favorite needles. And I have a needle organizer here, and I'll find it and I'll show you what's in there. All right, this one's done. Let's go ahead and pop it out. You are just going to continue on and hoop on, and you're going to do the 2 spools. You're going to do there's one more of these, and then the filler block. If we get to it, we'll get to it. Do you sell the cuties separately? Cuties is sold, the book. We sell the book and we sell the fabric kits. You need to buy the quilting designs directly. All quilting designs at this point, pretty much, I think, are all from Kimberbell. So that's the only thing we don't sell. Sometimes there's embroidery designs and they're the only ones to sell those. Like Life is Better in Full Bloom. That's something that Kimberbell sells directly. Okay, I'm going to slide on my 8x12. Did I miss anything else? For thick thread. Thick thread, I would probably, well, this is the other thing. So I called, I wanted to do like 100, I think, let me see. Does it have a recommendation? Thick thread. I think you have to do at least a 90-14 needle. I would go 90-14. You might have to do 116. That's as big as you can go in your machine. You're not supposed to go any higher than 116 in your machine. I actually called Baby Lock because my 10 needle, I wanted to use it in my 10 needle, and they said it would void my warranty if I went bigger than a 90-14. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that on that machine. All right, we're doing the iron now. Maybe check your bobbin thread looks low. Oh, my bobbin looks low? Should we just change it out right now? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being my checker of bobbin thread. Oh yeah, it does. Why don't we just put a new bobbin in since we're already in here? And I have all of these ready to go because I've been pulling the thread out. Oh, you guys are looking out for me. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah, I'm not sure. Do you use that thread? The one that I'm not even saying it because I don't know how to. Is it Bermuliana? All right. Let me focus for a minute so we can get this started. I don't want to lead you astray. You know what happens when I start talking. We are going to do the iron. And I'm going to snug it all the way over to the left side because I'm going to be able to fit in some more blocks with it. So, embroidery. I love the bobbin police. Let's go here and let's see if my quilting designs are here. They are not. Let me go over here. Okay. Let's see if my quilting designs show up. And for the iron, we are using Zigzag 2, the 4x10 vertical. Zigzag 2, 4x10, and there's only one on mine. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. There's my 5x7 outline. So I'm going to go over here and let me choose my 8x12. I know some of you are waiting for hoops. We are anxiously awaiting those too. I'm going to just take that and snug. Oh, you know what? Actually, I want to put my design in first. So I'm going to go back to edit, move, and I'm going to recenter that and then bring my design in. So if you look here with the iron, it's centered. So we're going to hit add, pocket. My designs are in this one now because they disappeared. And there's my iron. 5x7. Hang on. Here's an iron for the 6x10. So if you have to do 2 hoopings, I haven't set yet, so we're still dating. I didn't say I do. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to select this one instead. That's the one I want. Now I'm going to hit set. That's a better date for me. And I'm going to leave it here. I could do 1 or 2 things. If you've never grouped before and you have this feature, this is your grouping button right here. So I'm going to, because I want those both to be moved, but if I move them now, they're going to move them separately. So I'm going to touch this button. I know it looks like 3 buttons, but it's really 1 button. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. And now I'm going to just make it all pink. I'm going to say okay. That's grouped now, so it'll move as 1. Edit, and that's why I move a lot of stuff in the other page. I'm going to move it all over here. Now, if you want, we can put the other ones in, but I'm going to do those separately. I just want this kind of snugged over to the side, and I could have done it in the other screen as well, but now you know how to group. We're going to go ahead and do embroidery, and I will use this space here to do my filler blocks later. Okay? All right. Let me see if there's any questions. Oh, thank you for sharing that. So Joanne Patterson just said that the Shout Hooray quilting designs are on sale right now. If you don't have the 8x12, because you're going to look right here. See, it says 10.5. If you don't have the 8x12, you have to go up in size. If you have do your 10.5 by 10.5, because it's going to fit perfectly in there, and then you'll have all the room on the side. Actually, you know what? The 10.5 and 10.5 would be perfect, because you could do the iron and the dress form. So I think that's going to be a great choice. Should I rehoop and we should do both of those together? That would actually probably be the better choice, to go 10.5 by 10.5, and one side you're going to do the iron, and then on the other side you're going to do the dress form. I'm already hooped, so I'm going to leave it like this. But if you have a 10.5 by 10.5, you're going to do that. If you don't, if your machine doesn't take a 10.5 by 10.5, you can do 9.5 by 14. But I think 10.5 by 10.5 would be great. See? I'm going to put that up here. I'm not going to use it because I'm already hooped. But you could take this design and put it on one side and the dress form on the other. That's going to be your best option. I'm going to go back to my 8x12. And someday I will get you those hoops. We're just waiting for brother to ship them to us someday. All right. Go ahead and load that in your 10.5 by 10.5 if you need to. Just load one at a time. Put this in, and then you can load the dress form on the other side. Let me get here to my instructions. And go ahead and just hit start. We're going to spray our background fabric and our batting. Yeah, the needle notebook is pickle pie, and if there's a section of time where it is, there's a lot of stitching. I was looking at the design in bed. I'll run upstairs and grab it and show it to you, because it's cute. And I find there's like big ones and small ones. I use the smallest one the most. It's like my favorite size. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. Hi, Miss Shelley. You're making 2. Is there a way to save the setting of the colors so you don't need to assign the colors again? Okay, so are you color grouping and you're doing, and you're talking about, are we talking about doing it on, are you multi-needling it, or are you single needling it? I think some of these you have to do on the... Which machine are you doing it on? I'm stalling for time to think in my head. Okay, I'm going to lay this down too. Look how big this piece. And we really are going to... Like, the cut line is going to be small. The end size of this... Let me look at my list. The end size is only 4.5 by 10.5. So I'm actually going to snug it over a little bit more over here. I'm just going to hang out like 1/2 inch over, because that's all I need. And I'm going to do that. I want to do that because I'm going to do filler blocks on the side. You're multi-needling it. Okay. So are you trying to save, like, assign colors, like in, like Anchor and stuff, like there? Because that would be more of a Michelle question. You're making 2. Is there a way to save the settings of the colors? Yeah, there is a way. And I never do that. I always do my manual color sequencing. So you would turn that off, and then I think you could assign the colors. But to be honest, Shelly, I'm not sure how. So I would just call tomorrow and see if Michelle can walk you through it. Because, you know, she's... Oh, you know what I just did? This right here I'm going to cut, because we don't need that much of a line. That was the... that's the tactile... Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. I'm really messing up. Okay. That is going to be... That is going to show. Because what I did is I accidentally did the I accidentally did that's the tack down for the batting, and I don't want that. So before I go any further, I wanted to do the tack down for the fabric. And I'm just going to take this out really quickly, and I'm so sorry to do this to you. This is what happens when I'm not paying complete attention. So let me just get this going. It'll come out nice and easy because I'm going to use you just want to skip steps 2 and 3. So this was the batting tack down, which we didn't need to do. And you want to do the fabric. You just want to do the fabric tack down. So you're going to skip the orange, skip the turquoise, and you're going to do the last orange is what I should have done. Let me just get this going. I'm just going to make it go up this side, and then I will use my... Okay, here we go. It's a little harder when there's batting, but... I'm going to take this out, put it on my lap, and get these... Oh, strike 4! Trish, who's counting? I think we've just had a very active chat today. This is why I can't talk and drive. I'm like, when I'm talking and driving, I'm either going like 20 miles over or 20 miles under the speed limit. And I can't drink and sew, because that just leads to a lot of what I'm doing right now. Can be your potty break. You can go, oh, she just made another mistake. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there, because what I really want to do is just take out those stitches. And let me get that thread out of the way. And I set this on my lap, so it made everything loose. So that part of the class, or the sew along, was teaching you how to remove your stitches quickly with a Kai seam stitch remover. And you should all have that. Have those in your sewing room. Okay. Let's pop this back on. And I'm going to skip some steps now that I should have skipped before. I'm going to go here. That's my tack down, placement stitch for my background fabric, tack down for my background fabric. That one I want. And I had to take out that other stuff. It would have just shown when I sewed everything together, because this stitch is really the outline stitch that we cut around. The placement stitch for your fabric is that stitch. So if I had left that other stitch, that would have shown. We don't want that. Wine time! Okay, now we're going to do the quilting. It says to do white. You can choose whatever you want. I feel like I want to do white because I don't want it to detract from the embroidery. I want the embroidery to be the focus and not my zigzag stitching. So I'm going to put some white thread in. Focus, Jeannie. And I do absolutely love this seam ripper with the combined tweezers, because there's some threads back there that I didn't get that might be hard for me to grab with my fingertips, but it'll be easy for me to grab with my tweezers. And anytime they're combined, I love that too. All right, after we're doing this, the design file is gonna be in there. We're gonna stitch the iron cord placement line. So you need your coin thread. And then, anyone watch my video yesterday? I totally cut off my pincushion thread, the green. I just sliced it right off, so I had to thread it and put it back in again. Linda, what are you interested in getting? Did you want the Kai seam ripper? Because I think that's on the website. Just look up Kai. It might be called Kai Stitch Remover, though. We don't have a ton of Kai products, so you can just type in Kai. And put in there, I'll give you a 15% discount for the sew-along. So just put that in there. Put it in your notes. If you don't put it in your notes, you won't get the discount. If you put it in your notes, I'll give you a 15% discount on product that you get. But you have to write in sew-along 15% discount. And then we'll go ahead and we'll adjust your purchase. And they come in like 3 different colors: pink, like a green, like a mint green, and then like a kind of like a periwinkle. Oh, Shannon, darn it, you were. The needle notebook is not hard. And it's especially not hard because I will be paying attention and I will not make a mistake. So that's a little puckery, but don't worry about that. That's what our best press and our pressing is for. Okay, we're going to put in our coin. Now we're on to the embroidery part. Yeah, absolutely. Either email me or just put it in, make the purchase. You know, we always will combine your shipping too. So if you have multiple orders, we'll just put it with that and we'll refund you shipping. I know it charges you crazy shipping on a lot of this stuff. But we do our best to like combine. We look at everything. Someday we might not be able to, but we're still small enough that we can like look at those orders and combine stuff for you. Okay, this is going to be the iron cord placement line. So you're going to get your iron cord, which is going to be your twine. Where is my twine? I don't see it. I see everything but my twine. Oh, there it is. In my house, when in doubt, look on the floor because that's where it was. So you want to have your black and white twine, and it should be 9 inches long. I think it is the exact size it needs to be. There we go. And it says place one edge of the cord twine a 1/4 inch across the placement line as shown. So it looks like it's going up in this direction. And I'm just going to hold mine down like this and keep it taut. Okay. And then it wants you, there you can see that. So we're going 1/4 inch down below. Mine's probably a little bit more than that. Tape in place directly over the placement line and stitch the cord tack down. I could use my tape. Where is my, you know what? I'm just going to hold it because I don't feel like, it's like little twine. I don't feel like getting it off. I'm just holding it from the back and the front. There we go. And now I don't have to deal with removing my tape. And now it says stitch the cord base fill. So now you're just going to go ahead and hit start, and it is going to stitch. What we have to watch out for is I have to watch out for the, I want it to stitch right over that. I need to watch out for that getting shoved around. And I'm going to just push them in a little bit. You know what I just ordered? And it's so cute. I ordered a Tula Pink stiletto because I think I need it. I need it third hand sometimes. And if this is sticking out, I'll just trim whatever threads are sticking out. There you go. Stitch it down. We're going to be putting down the glitter next for the iron. And it's going to be the black. I have this bin of all my extras. So look at this. I don't know why I have such a huge piece of black glitter, but I'm going to use this first. And then I will just take my new stuff and throw it in here. But I'll go ahead and use that. Now it wants you to do, and the color doesn't make a difference. It wants you to do the iron body placement. So just go ahead and hit start. You can still use that same gray. I am going to give this a little shot of spray because it will stick. I like the way it sticks with the spray. I'm just going to get an idea of how big it needs to be. That's how I feel, Cheryl. Like, I feel like my sewing room eats things up too. How is that possible? But it does. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray it in that top corner. And then I'll lay it down. I can't believe I have such a huge piece left over from something. I never cut my embellishments. I like always, I cut them as I go. Let's look and see how they want us to trim this because that's going to determine how close I put this to the edge. It says stitch the body, tack down. Trim as desired, which means I'm going to leave like about 1/8 of an inch around it. So I'm not going to put it right on the line, but close to it. There we go. If it was trim close to the stitch, hang on a second. I need my black. Okay, Trish, you counting? Give me another, that was what? Strike number 5? Where's my black? I bought a big spool of black glide and a big spool of the white glide. Let me put this up. I need another tally mark. These are going to matter. And these are from more stitch remover tweezers, and I've had them for a long time. Somebody actually asked, because I mean, how hard would it be to pull that out with your fingertips? That's hard stuff. Okay, I went back to the beginning of it. There we go. Black. We're going to trim this as desired, which means I'm going to grab my curved straight scissors. I feel like these are a must-have in your sewing room. Curved straight. Let's get this out of the way so it doesn't hit. I also want you to heat up your iron because we're going to press after we trim. Oh, you're going to use a pink vinyl? That's going to be so cute. Yeah, why am I using this black? Why aren't I using a really cute color? That sounds like a fantastic idea. All right, committed though. Black's on. I'm going to go ahead and trim this about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I'm not 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. All the other scissors I have are like curved. My snips were curved. My double curved scissors, of course, were curved. So I love and I wasn't able to like cut like a true straight edge like I wanted before I started using these. So I absolutely love these scissors. And I love them for, you know, times like this. Anytime it says trim as desired, that's when I pull these out. I think we need to cut out that center too. So let's go ahead and get this out. And you could trim this one right to the stitch if you want. But don't forget this inner part. There we go. Looks good. And then it says you're going to use, we're going to iron this down. So let's take it over to your ironing area. I've got a Teflon sheet over here waiting. This is going to go back into my scrap bin. I have a little Teflon sheet right here. Oh, I'm going to turn my steam off. I'm going to press this down too. My batting that got puffed up. Yeah, my kids are on spring break too. So this morning, I was like, I didn't even hear the kids get up. Patrick goes, it's spring break. But I totally forgot. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, Guy's gonna be so tired. I got up with Poppy in the middle of the night. She has been a not so great sleeper. Like every third night, maybe even every other night, she's been getting up. This is leftover from my gray from before. But don't worry, because I have these awesome tweezers. I'll just grab it all. Don't know what that was. All right, let me slide that back on. And now it wants you to do the iron accent placement line. So that's going to be, let's put in our taffy. Where'd my taffy go? Here it is. I'm going to use this. Because the two colors are what? Taffy and bubblegum? Let me look at that fabric because maybe the bubblegum will look better. Nope, definitely taffy. You're using that pressing cloth. Would it be okay to use the OESD one? So I use, that's really thick. That is, so Alice, that is not really a pressing cloth. That's, well, it is. I mean, because it says pressing cloth, right? But I wouldn't lay it on top and press because it's really, really thick. What I use that one for and what I was taught to use it for is for pressing out your embroidery blocks when you get puckering. So I will take that, let me grab mine because I have one and I use it. Okay, so this is what Alice is talking about. This press cloth right there. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to demo it. We're going to lay this fabric down. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. Lay this down. I'm not going to press it too much because I do have adhesive on that. I sprayed it. This is what I use when I have puckers in my embroidery. And you're going to actually be able to see, like, you can probably see some indents of my embroidery. Do I have any? Or is it just the... Maybe it puffed out. If you ever get this press cloth, a good thing to do would be to bind it. It's one of those things that I keep meaning to do, but I haven't done. You take your embroidery, because it's a little bit puffy. So let's say I was trying to get puckers out of this, that I had puckers in between. You put it into this press cloth, I spray the back of it, and then I iron it. And what will happen is embroidery will get pushed into the cloth, and the fabric will kind of spread around it, and you get all those puckers out. It's like a miracle. So when I have bad puckers, and they're beyond my wool mat, that's when I use this. I wouldn't put this down on top of stuff and embroider because it's really thick. And I think your press cloth, you want it to be thinner. You want to use like, so this is a Teflon pressing sheet. And I use that. Or else I'll just grab like whatever's laying around, like a piece of muslin. I'll use that as my press cloth. All right, go ahead and trim around this. And it says trim close to stitch. I'm going back to my snips. Let's go snips. I love that OESD cloth. I had Carolyn Lindsay went on a cruise. I think she went on like an OESD cruise, or she went on some kind of sewing an embroidery cruise. And when she came back, she was like, this thing's a miracle. And she showed it to me and we used it. And I was like, oh my God, that is a miracle. And it was before we had, I think it was before I even had wool mats in the store. I don't know how long people have been using wool mats. Maybe I was late to the show. But so all we had was that pressing cloth, and I just love it. I don't use it all the time because I feel like My puckers aren't really that bad most of the time. They're bad if I don't use SF101. Then they're bad. But most of the time they're not too bad. And so I would put my wool mat. But when they're bad, that's when I get that press cloth out. All right. That's pretty cute. All right, so that was step number 7, and we just did the trimming. Step number 8, stitch the iron accent decorative outline. We're still using the taffy, so you can just go ahead and hit start. You were afraid you would melt the vinyl. So the HTV, this stuff handles really, really high heat. So I don't think you need to worry about that. And you'd want, I think it would take too long with that thicker, with the thicker OSD pressing cloth to really get that to adhere down. So yeah, just a Teflon sheet. Or if it was me, sometimes I would just take my muslin that I'm using as my batting, just fold it over and just press. You'll be fine, Miss Alice. I mean, don't leave it on there for like, you know, a couple minutes. Then we're going to put our gray back in, so get your gray, and then we're going to stitch Happiness is Handmade. So I gotta say, my batting totally like puckered on this. That is the one bad thing about, it's not bad, but by cutting it to size, if you're not tacking down your batting, because the batting had been tacked down, we've been on to here the edge, it can get pushed around. But I'm just gonna press the heck out of it. Do you need to press leather too? No, don't press the leather. And plus you can burn the leather, so you definitely have to protect that. That's okay, Brenda. Better late than never. You're never late for one of these sew-alongs. You can just join right in. Get your coin ready, or your silver, whichever gray you're using. We are 10 minutes into our 17-minute stitch out. Patrick is out there. He's got a hose. I think he's cleaning his bikes. That was one of those things where I heard Patrick talking to Kai. He said, you know, we have this trip coming off. Do you want to? And as soon as he said that, I was like, no, you have to tell him, because he's a teenage boy. He's not going to want to. Do you want to clean the bikes off? And I could tell Kai was like, no. Anyhow. This is the sole plate and detail. And then after this, we're going to use our aloe. To be honest, I'm not crazy about this. I mean, I'm sure I'd love it on something, but this quilt design, the zigzag, is not my favorite. I might substitute a different one in for that when it comes up again. There's so many cuter ones. Okay, when it does the next stitch out, I'm gonna run upstairs and I'll go get that needle notebook design. Yeah, the zigzag's not really that cute. I don't feel like it really adds anything. The design I love is that like starburst one. I think that one's like my favorite. Let me grab my... This one I love. This one right here. That's my favorite in this pack. And I mean, these are really cute too. Like the little itty bitty ones. Like the scissors. The hexagon one, that one's okay. And I always love these. The ones that are themed, and this one has like scissors and stuff. But the zigzag, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Cindy, thanks for asking. Patrick is feeling better. Not 100%, but definitely better. Bye, Linda. We'll see you at the next one. So next week, we are not getting together because I will be coming back from Vegas with Violet. We're getting excited for a little Miss Taylor Swift. But the week after that, so the Monday after that, we're going to be doing Cuties May. So in 2 weeks, we'll be getting together. The rest of Oh So Delightful, I probably will just be stitching and recording. And then posting. Because once we finish this, the only thing left to do is going to be the borders and then putting it all together. The borders! Oh my goodness. Do you know I don't like doing the borders? So, to do the white over the black, what did I use? So, I use a black bobbin when I'm doing black threading on the upper. I did not put in because I pin dotting and bothers me, but are you talking about right here, Miss Alice? Because I did not put in, I don't know if a black bobbin would have made a difference. I think the black bobbin makes a difference for like any thin stitching and maybe like for the cord. Like that might make a difference. Might not. When I'm doing like lettering or anything fine with black, then I always do a black bobbin. Okay, we're going to stitch Happiness is Handmade. Let me go ahead and switch out my thread. Anytime where I feel like there's going to be high contrast and pin dotting, meaning like the needle hole is going to show through, like show through what's on the other side, the bobbin thread, that's when I almost always will use a black bobbin. Okay, this is going to do the letter stitching. This is 2 minutes of stitching. That's enough time for me to run upstairs and come right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab that cap. I needed a snack too. Okay, here is, I love these. Does anyone else love these? This like saves my life at the store. Here is Needle Notebook. What's great about this is it's going to hold your bigger needles and then the smaller needles too. So when I did these, I had to do separate ones because this just like falls right. Oh no, those are jersey. These are like bigger, like the Class A's are bigger. And then there's some other bigger needles. These are all the Class A ones. So now we can do a needle notebook where you can do you can have two different sizes in one. I like the little itty bitty ones. That's probably the ones that I'll use. That'll probably be better. What I did with these, and I can't remember if it was 2 clicks or 3 clicks, when we did them, I had the people that took the class with me, I had them made 2 of them. One where we did the small size, and then if you do, I want to say it's 2 clicks. If you enlarge 2 clicks, then it'll fit the large size. So I can't decide. Should we just do these or should we do... I think we're going to do this one. We'll do this one. And then if you want the other one, this is going to be Needle Notebook 2. There is a Needle Notebook 1 pattern as well. Aren't they cute? If you want, I can kit them out. Like, this one was so cute. I love this fabric. Where is my handy dandy? Promenade was like one of my favorites. I love that. I love Three Sisters. Sarah, I totally agree. If they came with pre-made borders, I would buy them. I would totally buy them. Like go-to needle notebook is that I use all the time. I gotta find it. Now it's driving me crazy. Okay, we just finished step number 10, Stitch Happiness is Handmade. It says move the excess twine to the left of the hoop, tape it in place. So here's my excess twine. I'm going to move it down here because let's see what it's asking us to do. Stitch the plug cord placement line and remove the tape from the cord twine and place the free access. So this is step number 11 right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And it wants you to do it with black thread. So I'm going to take this out. Let me put in my black thread. Is this really skinny stuff? We might as well. I'm going to pop in my black bobbin. I think it'll be fine. Usually like the bigger stuff, and especially when you're going through like all of this fabric, it's fine and you don't need it, but I might as well just pop in my black bobbin. I love these bobbin boats. So you can just have like what you need for your project, or if you're just going to do like a retreat or something, you don't have to bring like all your bobbins. You can pop them in with your in a project bag too if you want. So let's just put this in here for this. And then I don't have to think about it and go, oh, the worst is when you're lazy and you don't do it and then you regret it. because you're like, oops, should have taken the time. Okay, it is going to stitch the cord, the plug cord placement line first. And I just pulled my twine right here. Remove the cord tape from the cord twine and place the free end across the placement line in the direction shown. So they want you to take this and you're gonna make it like all pretty. Maybe I have more than 9 inches here. So make it gorgeous, kind of like that. Adjust the position of the twine to shorten or lengthen the cord as desired and tape in place as shown. So I am going to go ahead and tape it down now. I am using transport tape because it's so much easier to rip than the Kimberbell tape, although I use the Kimberbell tape when I want a stick that is not quite so sticky. So we'll put one piece here. It's kind of just going to swirl along. I'll put one more piece like right up here. And I wonder if the excess we just like throw, it's going to get cut off or what. I don't know yet. Okay, there we go. Looks beautiful. And then this I think is going to like end up, I think we're going to end up losing some of that. All right. They wouldn't be able to sell more embroidery. Yeah, that's not going to happen, huh, Alice? They got to get us somehow. Okay. Stitch the plug cord tack down line. Remove the tape from the end of the cord and leave the other end. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just hit start. Remove the tape from the end of the cord and leave the other tape in place. So we're going to remove this piece of tape here. And did it want us to cut it? Leave the other tape in place. Trim any excess twine 1/4 inch from the tack down line. So we are going to go ahead and just trim the very end of it. 1/4 inch. There we go. Stitch the plug fill. Okay, plug fill time. Let's do it. I just have black in there. And then remove the block from the hoop. Do not remove the tape from the cord until after the block is trimmed. So that is just going to stay kind of like that. Which I wonder if it's going to flop around and not look good. You hear whining in the background. Is that me? Maybe it's me, Trish. I whine a lot. This tape is super sticky. So I use it, and then when I'm done with it, I can use it again if I want. Usually, you're going to see right here, like I'll use tape and I'll just stick it here because I'll just use it over and over. But it's pretty sticky. So if I'm taping on batting or felt, I never use this tape because it's too sticky, but I will use it on everything else. It's the best. I'm in the hoop, I'm going to do, and if you want to, you can do this in whatever hoop you want. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to do filler block 19, 20, and 21 because they're going to fit right here on the side. You do not have to do the order that I'm doing it, especially if you are using your 10.5 by 10.5. If you're doing your 10.5 by 10.5, I think it makes sense to do the dress form next. Dress form and then the sewing machine. I said to do the sewing machine in the 9.5 by 14. If it's 8 by 12, I'll have to look at the design. I think it'll, oh, you know what? Because this is going to bump you. Because it's going to be 8.5 by 10.5. So you can no longer do it in the 8 by 12. You're going to either have to go 9.5 by 14 or 10.5 by 10.5. That's why. All right. I'm leaving that in there. I'm going to show you how to use your camera. If you got the camera and you haven't been using it, you should be using it because it's so fantastic. We are going to go to, I'm going to go home. I'm going to touch OK. And I'm doing what? 19, 20, and 21. Let me grab those. 19, 20. I think those are my itty bitty bags. Somebody messaged me and said, can you give me a link to your itty bitties? Or did she say itty bitty bags? And I was like, what's an itty bitty bag? I was like, does she mean itty bitty, the squares? And then I figured out that I think she was talking about these. These are the bitty bags. I think that's what I call them. I call them the bitty bags, right? And then people asked, and I don't even remember that I did that. Oh man, just cracking myself up here. Okay. We are doing, yes, do the dress form. The dress form's going to fit perfectly if you're doing the 10.5 by 10.5, but because I have this hoop in and it's going to fit, I'm going to go ahead and do these filler blocks right here. The first one is 2 by 4. It's hobby 6. So let me go in here to, hopefully this USB works. Hobby 6. 2 by 4 PES, and I want 2 by 4. I'm going to set it. I'm just going to take it and drag it up in that corner, that general area. Now I'm going to add, and I'm going to put in geometric 7 2 by 2. Geometric 7 2 by 2. Boring. I'm not crazy about that one because it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. And then radial lines. Ooh, that's the one I love. Radial lines. Quilting. Radial lines. 2 by 2. My favorite. Whoops, didn't want that. I didn't want it to spin. I'm just going to hit this button. That's an undo button. Okay. I just wanted to drag it down here. All right. I want to make sure none of that is going to be touching the embroidery that I just did. So I'm just going to use my camera, and I could project too, but we haven't, I don't know if we've used the camera at all. If you're on a Destiny Dream Machine, one of those machines, you just hit the camera, the hoop is going to start moving. On the Luminaire and Solaris, you hit the camera button and then you touch scan. These camera buttons are different. This one is real time. I can turn that on, put my hand underneath the, like near the needle, you'll see my hand. This camera here, that's the one I use. And what it's going to do is it's going to take a picture of what's in the hoop. Make sure you have enough room for your hoop to move completely around. Don't be scared of that camera button. That camera button is incredible. If you are not using it, you are doing yourself a disservice. That's how you get perfect placement without having to grid everything out, but you also have your projector on the Luminaire and Solaris too, so that's wonderful. There! I can see nothing is touching, so it's perfect. Love it. I'm going to go, I'm going to close this. It's still going to leave the image on. That image will stay there until I embroider, the embroidery is complete. I'm just going to move these designs. Gonna say okay. And I'm ready to stitch. Let me look at my colors. I'm going to color group them. And let's look at our fabric. Let's see what we're going to do. So here's my, because I've been changing my mind on the colors. This is my big piece. And the big one is going to be that design. And I think it's set up to do taffy. I don't know if I like the taffy. I think taffy's going to be... No, I don't like the taffy at all. I'm going to do this. Bubble gum. So it doesn't make a difference. I mean, they're both pinks. But I'm going to go in here and assign that color. So it'll stop. So I'm going to go here. And it's this one. There's the quilting. You can confirm it in the window. And I'm just going to call that bubble gum this pink. Now the other ones, I have white written down. So do you think white will be the best? One of them is going to be the geometric design. I don't think I want to do white. I think I want to do something else. Geometric on, let's see what goes where. Where's my book? I'm going to see what is assigned where. And I'm just putting in the colors so it will stop and it will pause. We are doing these two. So there's 20 and 21. This one has the geometric, and that one is going to have the little burst. So, you know what? I'm going to do buttermilk with this one. So this one, I'm going to go to right here, and I'm going to make that yellow. And it doesn't matter. I'm just putting in a color so it's going to stop in between these. And then the last one, which is going to be the radial on this, I think I'm going to do the bubble gum again. So this is the thing with it. Now if I choose the same pink, I'm going to go back here and choose the right pink. 2153, it'll color group and stitch those together. So I need 2153, and I don't remember exactly which pink that was. I'm going to guess it was this one. So I want this. Yeah, 2153. So I'm going to say okay. And now it's going to color group these two, and it'll stop and do that one separately. Okay? All right. And if you don't feel like doing that, you can just stitch them all separately any way you want, whatever makes you happy. This is just a picture here. It's not stitching that out. So here we go. There's our steps. I'm going to go layout, and I'm going to color group. It's going to do the placement. I have a thing about black thread. I don't like using it for placement stitches and tack downs and stuff. It's just too much contrast for me. I'm going to take my bobbin out. Let's switch them out. You used clear glue. Oh, clear glue. I mean, maybe, you know what? If I had forethought, maybe what I would have done is I would have, well, I don't know. You could use the cording foot and sew like a stitch down on top of it. But yeah, I think you're going to want to adhere that cord down somehow. And why don't I just go ahead and put in the bubble gum, because I think that's what's going to stitch first. Take out my black. Hopefully that little mini lesson made sense on just assigning colors. And hopefully it made sense why we did it. If I color grouped, it would call all the quilting one color and it wouldn't stop in between those. But now it'll stop in between the two, but two of them will be stitched out with the same color. All right. I like to see what's being stitched out, so I'm going to hit that so I know what's happening. This is going to be placement line for batting. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray my batting for all of this. And my filler pieces. yeah, I bet rickrack was adorable. And then sewing it down, because how am I going to sew this down? I could do like a little zigzag across that. I love color grouping. Anything that saves me time, I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm going to do it often. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and lay these down. Here's my first one. When I went upstairs, Violet was up there. I was like, Violet, find me the pretzels. And she goes, why do you want them? I was like, I'm hungry. I love peanut butter pretzels. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot? Okay. I'm taking these off. What we're doing, what I've been doing with the filler blocks, is I'm not even stitching the batting. I'm just going and skipping to, I'm going here because I want the last orange. Oh, no, wait, back. I want the turquoise. I have been just stitching out the placement for your, the placement for the background fabric. So let me go ahead and stitch that. And then I'm just centering the batting to the piece. So for instance, like right here, I'm just going to center it to this and then just lay it down. Okay? That way you don't need to even do the placement for the batting. Don't put your batting down now, though, because it just kind of gets dragged around. Okay. Then we'll give this a little shot of spray, and then we'll put it down. I think I need that to be like more habit, because I've been doing all the steps, and I think it just like makes sense to not even do the batting placement line. This doesn't have machine bed under it, so I'm not really going to be able to press this down. I'll just kind of do my best. Okay. It is ready to do the orange, which is the background fabric tack down. We're skipping that step. So I'm just going to skip through that. There's 3 of them because there's 3 filler blocks, or I could have touched in there. Now it's going to do bubble gum, and it'll do the bubble gum here, and it'll do it here, and then it will stop so I can put in the buttermilk. Here we go. A buttonhole tack stitch. Yeah, we could do that. I'm not a huge peanut butter eater. Like, I never am like, you know what, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is very rare. I like peanut butter and banana sandwiches, but I love peanut butter pretzels. I love peanut sauce with my spring rolls. I would have a tough time giving up peanut butter, but I could do it. Is it hard not having it in the house? Do you miss it? Oh my God, I love nuts. I eat a lot of nuts. Okay, I'm going to stop it just because I want to Make sure this is adhered down, and I'll start it now. Oh no, that's part of it. I got nervous for a minute. I was like, is that a tack down? That's part of the design. This one was cute. The iron was totally cute. Oh, Patrick's supposed to be on a call. Let me make sure he's on it. He's such a good boy. He was doing exactly what I told him to do. And now, because we assigned this one a different color, it's stopping. And we can put in our yellow. And you could put in any color. We just wanted to make sure it was different from these two colors, and that way there would be a hard stop that would give us a chance to do a color change. So what didn't we get done? What's your homework? Homework! Your homework is going to be, I think I'm just going to stitch. I'm going to go have lunch, and then I'm going to stitch out because I want to finish this. So spool 2 and 3, you need to finish cross stitch heart 2, dress form, sewing machine, and filler block 18, and that's it. That's not going to be too bad. Don't you feel like this has been like the easiest, most manageable? Like, I feel like I've just really, really enjoyed this quilt. So we are done for our sewing today. I'm going to finish that all up for homework, and I will record it, and then I will post it. This outer thing, the outer and inner borders, I'm going to go ahead and record that, and then I will put everything together. And yeah, I was expecting this to take us like I thought it was going to be like months. Like, I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6 weeks, like Capuchir, which was a big bite. But I will be back again, not next Monday, but the Monday after. The Monday after, we're going to be getting together. It's the first Monday, I think, in April for Cuties May. And Trish, how bad was that? Was it just 5? Did I get like 5 strikes today? Or was it 6? I lost count. I lost count. Thanks for being patient with me. Hope you had fun. I will be joining you again, like I said, in a couple of weeks for our Cutie So Long. And this is what we have so far. And we'll just add to it. It's going to look adorable in your sewing room, or it's going to make a great gift for that girlfriend of yours that loves